Our story today and our puppet show mixed is called The Mitten. Now, The Mitten was wrote by and pictures drawn by Jan Britt. And you know how Miss Faye always mixes her story up a little different from the book, which I do, so my little puppet friends may not be the same as in the book, but it's the same story, pretty much the same, just different little characters. And in this book, it really centers on a little boy named Nick. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Miss Faye.
Are you ready to show the children what the story is about today?
Oh, yes, I am. I'm so happy to be here. I get to introduce you first to my Oma.
Now, you know, all different places, and we all call our grandmother different names. Well, in a place called Germany, they're called Oma for grandmother and Opa for grandfather. And this story did actually take place in Germany. And our little Nick, he loved his grandmother so much, didn't you, Nick?
Oh, my, yeah. She's my wonderful, wonderful Oma. And she's always doing things nice for me.
Well, what did she do this time, Nick?
I've been wanting a pair of mittens for a long time. And my Oma, she knits. She can make the most wonderful stuff. So she made me these beautiful mittens I have on my hand.
Oh, Nick, they are beautiful. Want to show the children close up?
Sure.
I'm going to show you. Look, children, they're mittens that his Oma made for him. Aren't they nice? Nick, they look so fluffy and warm.
Oh, they are. They're really the best mittens in the whole wide world.
All right, let's get started. So, children, we're going to start our story, The Mitten. First, this is Nick's Oma. And Oma knits, as you can see. She's always doing something nice.
Hi, Oma. I wanted to say thank you so much for my mittens. I just love them. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to play in the snow and just have a ball now so my hands don't get cold. Thank you, Oma.
And Oma said,
oh, it's all right, my son, my little grandson. I love you.
So Nick did. He went out in the snow to play. And let's see what happened.
Oh, wow! Snow! I just love snow.
So he was playing in the snow, just having a ball, when one of his little mittens blew away in the wind. And he didn't notice it until it was time to go in, because it was really cold.
Oh my, I think I've had enough fun. I think I better go in and get warm, because I don't want to catch cold.
And then he noticed,
oh my, one of my mittens is gone. I gotta find it.
So he started looking everywhere in the snow, but he could not find it. So he just decided to keep looking because he was so afraid to tell his Oma he had lost one of the mittens she just made for him. So he went on his way looking everywhere. But in the meantime, his mitten that blew away become a favorite little place for something called a mole. And the little mole kept squeezing and squeezing and squeezing till he got inside that little mitten. And he said,
"Oh my, it's warm in here. I think I'll stay."
well, he did. But it wasn't just him, because once he's in there, along came something else. It was a flying little gliding squirrel. And he landed and he said,
"Oh, that looks like a nice place to live. Can I get in there with you?"
and the little mole said,
"Well, it's kind of tight in here."
and the little squirrel said,
"That's all right. I don't take up much room."
so he tried and he tried to get in that mitten, but he couldn't. But finally, he pushed and pushed and pushed. And pretty soon, he got in the mitten with the little mole, and both of them looked like they were really nice and warm. But the mitten got larger. And pretty soon, something else came along. It was a little black and white skunk. And the little skunk came along and he creeped up and he said, "Oh my, you do have a nice warm home. Can I stay in there with you?" And right away, the mole and the squirrel said,
"We don't think so. There's no room for you."
and he said, "Oh yeah, I don't take much room. I'll squeeze in. You'll see." So he tried to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and finally he did. He got inside the mitten with the squirrel, with the mole. And you better remember this, because Miss Faye is going to be asking you who got in and when. And pretty soon, all three of them were in the mitten. There was the mole, there was the squirrel, and there was Mr. Skunk. And they told him,
"Don't you dare make any bad smells in this mitten, Mr. Skunk."
and he promised, "I won't. I want to stay where it's nice and warm. I'll be good." And so they all three lived in their happy little mitten. But look how very big that mitten kept getting. And then, if you think that wasn't enough, along came a little fox.
"Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. Oh, wow! That looks like a nice warm home. You guys look so comfy. Can I get in there with you?"
And right away, what do you think they said? "No, it's no room in here for you."
"Oh, yeah, I think I could make it. I think I could climb in and get in there with you too."
And the little fox, he squirmed and he squirmed and he squirmed. And pretty soon, he got in there with them too. But by this time, the mitten grew and grew and grew. And this is how big it got. It had in it, let me hear you, Mr. Mole, Mr. Who? That's right, Squirrel. And who was the little stinky one? Yep, you are right. It was the Mr. Skunk. And the last little furry one was who? You're right. It was Mr. Fox. Now, they're all three in it. It is gotten really, really big. Look how big that mitten got now. Wow, it is huge. But that wasn't all. One more came by, and his name was Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear was still looking for a place to hibernate. Doo-doo, be-doo, 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 doo. And he looked up. Oh, wow. Look at you guys. You look so comfy and warm in that nice, soft looking, what is it?
And they said, it's a mitten, and you're not coming in here.
Oh, why not? I need a place too to hibernate for winter.
Yeah, but it's too full. There's no room for you.
Oh, I think I can fit in there. So right away, Mr. Bear tried and tried to snuggle in that huge, big, old mitten. And he made it just before another little one came along. And it was Mr.
Mouse. Little mouse. He scurried up and he said, oh my, this looks like a great place to stay for winter.
And they said, no, no room.
And he said, oh, I won't take much room. I'll just sit here on Mr. Bear's nose.
So he did. He went and he snuggled up on Mr. Bear's nose. And Mr. Bear went, ah, 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 achoo! And when he did, they all fell out of the mitten. And the mitten fell onto the ground. And Nicholas, well, he'd been searching all this time for his mitten and couldn't find it. And he comes and he goes,
whoa, that looks like my mitten, but it can't be. It's way too big. My mitten didn't look like that. I can't take that home to Mama. She'll say, what is that? That doesn't look like your mitten.
So Nicholas said,
I guess I'm just going to have to go home and tell Oma I lost my mitten.
And so he did. He went home, left the big mitten on the ground, and I'll bet you those animals, we don't know if they ever came back again or not. But Nick, he went home to see Oma. And when he did, Oma said, he went in and Oma said,
Nick, it's okay. You don't have to worry. I love you, and I love making things for you. Oh, Oma, you're the best in the whole world. I'll make you another mitten. Don't you worry. And maybe this time I'll make 2 or 3, just in case. Oh, Ma, I love you so much. I love you too, Nick. Oh, Ma, will always, always love you, no matter what. And that is the way it ended, with the Mitten story, and Oma, Nick, and all the little animals that thought they had found a great home for winter. Now, I'm going to bring out one more little fella. And he is special because today is, like we said, Groundhog Day. And his name is Hendersonville Phil. Hi, Phil.
Oh, hello, Miss Faye.
I heard today's a special day in your honor.
That's right. I know because they woke me up early this morning and made me go out of my nice warm bed and look outside.
Well, why would they ever do that to you?
They want to see if I see my shadow. I tell you what, I get tired of this every year, but I gotta do it. After all, it's my job. One day a year makes me special.
Well, you are special. So, Phil, when you went outside, what did you see? And what happens?
Well, if I saw my shadow, I run back in, and it's supposed to be 6 more weeks of bad weather. If I didn't see my shadow, you get an early spring.
Really? Oh, that would be wonderful. So, what did you see?
Well, my little friends out there, I'm not going to tell you. Miss Lisa comes on next with her arts and crafts show, and she has a special something she wants to show you, and she'll tell you if I saw my shadow or not.
Oh, Phil, all right. I don't mind waiting. Do you mind waiting, my friends? I don't think so, because Miss Lisa always has something great to do with you, and she will tell you the mystery of what Hendersonville Phil and Punxsutawney Phil, and we have one in Asheville too, and if they saw their shadow today. So you stay tuned for Miss Lisa's Arts and Crafts show to know the answer. And in the meantime, I do want to say thank you for tuning in today, and I want to mention some special names that we know have watched us for quite some time, and we are so appreciative. So Phil, you're going to help me, and we are going to say, Miss Faye will start bringing back her magic mirror starting next week. So today, Phil, we are going to say hi out there to Knox and Annabelle, Livy, Gray, Hazel, Jacob, Sadie, Kate, Walter, Daisy, Willow, Amelia, and Maddie. And Judah. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. You know, this means a lot to us when you come, because it's like we can still share Grace Lutheran Preschool with you. So please keep tuning in. It makes our hearts feel full. So we're sending our heartfelt wishes for all of you, all your heartfelt wishes. Mr. Phil, he's going to help me. We are sending your heartfelt wishes out for everything you wish that the good Lord can help you with. And we're still wishing that you are safe, healthy, peaceful, contented, and that we will see each other again soon in the future. Grace Lutheran Preschool and church and staff love you so much. Mwah. Send him a big kiss.
Mwah.